Max, first call-up. Congratulations. How's, I guess, your first few days in camp been?
Yeah, no, I just arrived at midnight today, so no, it's been good just to meet a few of the boys this morning and the staff. So really enjoying it, really excited for the camp.
And Tony's obviously a new manager for you. I mean, you were on the opposite sides of things last season in the A-League, and I'm sure he won't hold it against you. Are you looking forward to working under him?
Yes, for sure. I'm very excited. He did an amazing job for Melbourne Victory. Unfortunately, I guess we got the win over him in the grand final, but no, the boss. I'm really excited to play for him, and really excited to see what we can do here.
Other defensive midfielders have been used in this setup before you've had your first up call. What do you bring, do you think, that's different that you can offer that those who aren't here have perhaps offered in the past?
No, I think the boys that have been here in the past have done an amazing job as well. I think I've just been lucky enough to get my opportunity this time around, and I think my biggest strengths are that I'm comfortable on the ball. I like to receive the ball under pressure sometimes, and also I'm hard-working defensively. I like to work hard for the team, do the dirty meters, and hopefully that will help out some of the boys up top to free them up to do their job up top.
It's just back on the call up. I mean, it's a massive moment in your life. How did the call go? Who called you? Where were you? Can you just explain that whole situation?
Yeah. So I was in Breda at my house, and I got a text message from Joel, the team manager, and I had to read it twice to make sure that I was in the team and I wasn't just on standby, for example. But no, it was. I was overjoyed. I had to read it twice, looked at it. And then, of course, I called my parents straight away to let them know, and thankfully they were still awake here in Australia. So it was a really nice moment to share it with them as well.
What did they say to you?
My mum was screaming. My dad just super happy holding my mum in his arms, and it was a very beautiful moment. I think they're just as happy as I am, and I'm over the moon.
Your parents are French, aren't they? So can you talk us through that influence? I know you've sort of been raised here, there, and everywhere as well. Can you talk us through your journey to get here? So both my parents were originally born in France, and they grew up in France, but they moved over a while ago, and they've become Australian citizens themselves. And I was born here in Sydney, and I felt like Australia was home from the start. I lived in Australia for 3 years after I was born, and then moved throughout Asia for 10 years, I think, or a big number of years, I'm not sure exactly, but and then came back around when I was 16, 17 years old, and finished high school in Sydney, and then went through the Mariners Academy, managed to get to the first team with the Mariners, and then we had a lovely couple seasons, last few seasons, and thankfully I got my opportunity overseas in Europe, and I'm super happy for that opportunity. And it's just been a crazy journey so far, and I think it just shows how football's a crazy world. Can you talk us through the nickname, the Aussie Kante?
Yeah, I'm very flattered by it. I think it's the supporters from NAC Breda in the Netherlands have given me that name, but Kante is a top player, I must say, but no, I'm very flattered. I think I'm just doing my job over there. The coach has given me a lot of confidence. The supporters have been amazing as well, making me feel at home over there. When you're by yourself on the other side of the world, it can be a bit tough sometimes. But for me, it's been very easy. I can't complain, touch wood. But I've had an amazing start to life over there, and just really enjoying my football.
Was NAC your the sole offer you had to go to Europe, or given your background, one would have thought perhaps a move to France and perhaps a Ligue 1 side if you could have managed that, but was NAC the one that came in?
So I had a few opportunities. Before NAC there was potentially a club in Portugal that I was maybe going to go to. Unfortunately that fell through, and but no, when NAC came through and they gave me an offer and they showed how much they wanted me at the club, and I knew straight away that it was a great opportunity for me. It was very important for me to keep playing, especially in Europe, to show that I'm able to compete in Europe, and to play in the Dutch Eredivisie is a league that's well renowned throughout the world. And so I think
it was a league that suited me, a club that showed a lot of confidence in me and wanted me to be there. So I think it was the perfect fit for me, and so far it's been pretty good.
Bit of an Australian tradition as well at NAC, isn't there? Graham Arnold, I think, was there.
For sure.
Tony Vidmar as well in the old days.
Exactly right. It's a big shoes to fill, but as an Australian over there. But no, the supporters have really been amazing, made me feel at home, and my teammates have been amazing as well. A lot of foreign boys in the team as well, and thankfully everyone in the Netherlands pretty much speaks English, so it's been pretty easy to transition over there. And I'm still learning Dutch at the moment, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's quite to the level where I'm fluent yet.
You beat Ajax in one of your first games. Can you tell us about that?
That was a surreal experience. I think it was the first time in 17 years that NAC Breda has beaten Ajax, and it was an amazing experience at home as well. Playing players that you've watched highlights of your whole life here in Australia, even players that you admire. You've got Jordan Henderson was on the bench, for example, who's played in Champions League finals, won Champions League. So, no, it was an amazing experience to be able to play against such a top team, and I think there's many top teams in the Eredivisie as well. So, yeah, it's pretty surreal, to be honest. But I'm just trying to do my best, and to beat Ajax is a very special moment for me in my career. Yeah, I've never seen support like that in my life. When you've got the whole stadium, 20,000 packed to the brim, just jumping up and down, it's an amazing experience. And to be fair, even in games where we weren't so good and we've lost, they've still been behind us, supporting us. So it's very special, and no, I'm very grateful to be at such a good club.
The Dutch league used to be a well-trodden path for Australian players to get their break in Europe. Not so much now, but do you feel that it is actually a really good place for you to learn your craft against technical teams in pressure situations, but then prepare for some, rather than say going to England or somewhere else?
No, for sure. I think the Eredivisie is a great league, very technical, but don't underestimate the physicality of it as well. They've got players that are very quick, very strong, and for example, Quinten Timber, who's at Feyenoord, whose brother Jurien Timber, who's at Arsenal. So, no, they've got it's a very good league to improve, and I felt like since I've been there, I've improved a lot. I think I've transitioned as a player as well to be more capable in situations where you might only have one touch, and if you're thinking of taking two touches, your first touch better be good, otherwise you're tackled straight away. So, no, it's definitely a league that even many of the boys in the team have played in. Matty Ryan, for example, Goodwin as well. So, no, I think it's definitely one that many Australians should consider when going over there.
Is that where the big learning comes from? That you actually have to just do everything much quicker, much faster, your touch, your thought, everything?
For sure, I think that was the biggest difference for me when I first arrived. My first few training sessions over there, I realised that everyone in the team is switched on from not even just in games, but even in training sessions. You don't have the luxury of time in those training sessions. Yeah, like I said, if your first touch isn't good, forget about your second, and most of the time you don't even have time to take two. So, yeah, it's very special to be playing in a league where that is the case.
That's just on the Socceroos, and I guess your opportunity that you have right now. The players we've spoken to have said they can perform on the big stage. They want to do it now for the Socceroos. Can you just, I guess, tell the fans what you're thinking at the moment and how confident you are that you can make a stand right now for the team?
For sure, I think the quality in the team, not only myself, but the team is unbelievable. We've got players playing in Europe who play in the biggest stadiums, again with the biggest fans and under high pressure situations. I think this is just another situation where we have to do our job and make sure we get the 3 points. I think every point matters here in the World Cup qualifiers, especially considering we're trying to qualify straight away without having to go through playoffs. I think we're a team that's very focused, and I can't wait for the opportunity to play in front of the beautiful crowd in Melbourne.
We could well see often teams come to Australia, sit back, make it difficult. What makes you feel like you're one of those players who can help break down that situation?
I think, playing in the Netherlands, you verse a bit of both, to be honest. Like the top teams, you may not see the ball that much, but against other teams, you have the opportunity to play on the ball. And I think with my technical qualities, I can help try and crack defenses, especially those that are sitting back. And I think we've got players in the team. If I can find them in the right pockets, they'll be very dangerous, and with their abilities and qualities, they'll be very special.
And what's Tony? Has he spoken directly to you? And has he given you a bit of a hint as to how he wants you to perform?
I haven't spoken to the boss yet, but I'm really looking forward to speaking with him and seeing exactly what he wants out of my role in the team. And if he gives me the opportunity, I'll be ready with both hands to try and take it.
Just on your background, you travelled a lot as a kid. Was that because your father or mother had different jobs? What was the reason for it?
Yeah, so my dad was in the cement industry and just followed him around with his job, and in many developing countries in Asia where they were building a lot. So yeah, they would just send him pretty much every 3 years, and so I moved around quite a lot and just played football wherever I went because that was my love of the game. And yeah, you meet all sorts of people from different backgrounds, different religions, different statuses in life, and it's a beautiful. That's the beauty of the game of football. You can play with anyone and still have the best time.
And he was a rugby player, so no pressure on you. Didn't try to turn you into a number 9 or a number 10.
He did try his best. I did play rugby for a little bit, especially at school, but no, unfortunately, I think my mum had an influence as well. Looking at my size, I think there's some boys that are much bigger than me in rugby, so. I think thankfully I made the right decision. I'm here at the moment and I'm very happy.
I've seen a few of those French scrum halves that are a lot bigger than you.
That is true. That is true.
Max, you obviously rank very highly in a lot of defensive metrics, possession, regains, tackles, interceptions, that kind of thing. Where do you think your best position would be in this Socceroos team? As like a deep line pivot or more of a box-to-box midfielder, or I guess you might just be happy to play wherever the boss puts you, but where do you think kind of best position would be?
I think as a 6, naturally I feel most comfortable there, but I've played in positions where you're a bit higher up the field as well, or more defensive as well. So I'm very, very flexible with the position, I guess. But I am a 6 that does like to get forward sometimes and have a little dribble from time to time as well. I think I've shown that especially in the A-League towards the end of last season. But no, I think at the moment with how the club is going in the Netherlands and the teams we're facing, sometimes I have to do a bit more work in defence, and especially against the big teams like Ajax, PSV. So that's why I think these defensive metrics come out. But no, I'm very flexible with both sides of the game.